Today, I just want to give you a quick update of what's happening to my seedlings and outside in the garden.
Yes! Please subscribe!
Well, to jump right in, I'm going to show you what's happening with my seedlings first. Well, these are my tomatoes, and they were planted on the 8th of the 3rd. Now, they're doing quite well. Now, this pocket here, nothing came out, and in these two over here, they've really been struggling. This one has just got its leaves now. This still hasn't got any leaves. So, I've just pulled it out. I'm going to throw that away anyway, because this one over here should take place quite nicely. They're coming on very, very well. And I think I'll be taking them out of the heated propagator now, either tomorrow or the next day. Anyway, that's my tomatoes. Let's go on to the next one. Well, this is my summer-autumn cauliflower, and they're doing very, very well. They were sown also on the 8th of the 3rd, and they've all come up except these two pots over here. But they're doing very well. They look a little bit leggy and stuff like that, but I'm not unhappy with them. Let me just put that tag back over here. I think they're doing quite nicely. I'm happy with those. It's just these two pots. I'm going to have to get rid of those. Anyway, now let's go over and I'm going to show you something that's quite fascinating about the peas. This is a pea that I planted on the 9th of the 3rd. Now, within 2 days, it had already started to sprout, and it's growing very well. Now, this isn't the only pea that I planted. I planted some other peas as well in a larger container, and I put them in the greenhouse, and they hadn't budded at all. So I decided I would move them inside. Let's go and have a look at those. This was the peas that I had moved into the house last night, because in the greenhouse they weren't coming up at all. Now, last night they started to sprout. I'll show you here. You can see over here, they're gone. Over here is another one. Over here is another one. Right in this corner over here, there's another one. They're sprouting all over the place. You can see over here, over here, over here. And so it goes on. They're just really sprouting. So I'm very, very happy with that. And obviously, the peas are very sensitive to temperature. And what I did is I took a book and had a look in this book. It's got a little chart. I'm going to show you that book now. Well, this is a book by Mel Bartholomew, The All-New Square Foot Gardening. Now, inside this book, he had these planning charts. And one little thing that he got, and I think he says it comes out of the J.F. Harrington Agricultural Extension leaflet from 1954. He's got germination times and the temperatures and the days to germination for a few products over here. Now, I found that quite interesting, because when I looked at the peas at 5 degrees, it was 36 days, where at 10 degrees it was 14 days, and the sort of optimal temperature for germination would be between 25 and 30 degrees. Now, I know my temperature that in the greenhouse during the day was anywhere between 10 and 25, but at night time it plummeted low. So I think bringing it into the house, well, this is what prompted me to bring those into the house, and they seem to have germinated straight away. So I'm actually very happy I found this. But also in this book, he's got another chart here, the percentage of germination at the different temperatures, which I think is quite interesting. So I think in the future I might sort of keep statistics on how long it takes to germinate and stuff like that, because I found that very, very interesting in this book. But having said that, I must move along, and let's go upstairs, because I planted a whole lot of new stuff, which also might need a little bit of relocation, because some of them haven't quite come up. But it's only been, not even a week. Well, this is a tray that I was referring to. I've got this all on, it's a south-facing, a north-facing windowsill. Now, in this one over here, I've got little gem lettuce, and they've propped up quite well. I'm quite happy with those. These 3 modules haven't got anything in it, but that one's got, this one's got 2, this one's got, and this one's got. Now, it's only been a few days, because they were planted on the 14th of the 3rd. So, it's it's about 6 days ago that they were planted. But these two here, they were spring onions. They haven't shown any sign of growing yet. And this one over here was, let me just see if I've got it. Yeah, the chives. And they haven't shown anything either. But I think, give them time and then they'll come up, because it's still very, very early days. But I'm very glad my little gem has shown up. And they're showing up quite nicely. I just hope these others, it looks like there might be one coming up over here. So anyway, they're showing quite promising. Let me move on to the others now. These are the onions that I haven't repotted on yet. I don't quite know when to do them, but because I did these others over here, and they're not doing too well. I've got a whole lot downstairs as well. They are surviving, but they're not thriving. But having said that, my miniature peppers are doing very, very well. I'm very happy with them. These are my little strawberries. They seem to be doing quite well. They're not growing very fast, but I've never grown strawberries from seed, so I don't know how fast they're meant to grow. But, not a lot of them showed up here. Now, this is my cut and come again lettuce. Now, some of them grew quite well, like these ones over here. But there's tiny little ones here, this one and this one and this one over here. And I sowed a lot of seeds in this little tray, but they don't seem to be doing too well. So, but it's early days still. I'll see how it goes with those, because they were sown on the 8th of the 3rd. So they should have been a few more than that. But anyway, it's still early days. I've never sown in winter before, and it's quite exciting. This is my calabrese, and they were sown on the 14th of the 3rd. And over the last few days, they've just popped out everywhere, and they seem to do it quite well. I think it's just this tray, and that tray that I haven't seen any growth yet, but all of the others have popped up, and they seem to be really thriving. Because as I said, they were sown on the 14th of the 3rd, and so they're doing quite well, and today being, I think it's about the 20th or so, 21st. This is my summer-autumn cabbage, and they're doing very, very well. There's a couple in here, there's one over here, one here. This one's popping out now, this one's popping out, this one's popping out, this one's popping out. This one hasn't got anything, that one's popping out, that one's blank, this has got, these two have got, and that one's blank. So I'm actually not very, and I'm quite pleased with that, because they smack on time. It's the 20th today, and they were sown on the 14th of the 3rd. So I'm very, very happy with those cabbages. Now, of course, I must show you this onion over here. My daughter's at university, and one of her flatmates had this onion growing in his fresh vegetables. And it is massive, so I don't know quite what to do with it. So I planted it, and I see some new shoots are coming out. Now, this was only a couple of days ago that I planted this, and I'm hoping that it'll grow. I've never grown onion from a big onion like this, but I'm interested to see what happens. I've grown them from onion sets. I'm trying to grow them now from seeds, but I've never grown it from a fully grown onion. So I just want to see what will happen over here. This should be a fun sort of observation. Okay, that's my seed update. Now for a quick trip outside, I just want to show you what I've started, but it's very wet, so I can't continue at the moment. Well, as you can see, I've started to dismantle this fence, because this is where my polytunnel is going to go, and so I started to dig it out. It was so well planted in. The gentleman that put this post in and put this fence up really knew what he was doing, and he never expected it to be moved, that's for sure, because it's been really hard graft trying to dig this post out. Over here in the carport, where I'm going to be putting my raised beds, I've sort of got these coping stones, and I've laid them out exactly where my paths and my raised beds are going to be, so I can take now good measurements exactly where I'm going to be building them. Anyway, that's my update for the week. I've got quite a lot going on all over the place, especially inside with all the things that are growing. I've run out of windowsill space now, so that's why I was hoping to take things outside. But I just want to thank you all for listening, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.